Hey guys, and welcome back. We're playing Blind. It's been about 2 years since we started this, and I'm really curious as to how it goes. We're gonna continue today. If those of you who don't know, my name is Myriad Roses. I play video games. I know, crazy. If you like this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I would appreciate it. Also, I just watched the whole Chainsaw show, finished it finally, and the movie that just came out was very good. I feel a little weird wearing white. You can totally see my strap underneath, but that's fine. And I feel like super buff in it for some reason. Okay, anyways, let's continue. Where were we last? I don't remember. Should have watched it. The next morning, I received a call from Ying. Yeah? Yang Ying? I rushed into the eyeglass store. The air was fresh after the rain, but the clouds hadn't cleared, and it was another cloudy day. The company's main business is to provide a wide range of products and services to the public. He had sleep deprivation written on his face and let out a long yawn at the same time he saw me. Oh. Only then did I see that he was carrying the doll in his other hand. Although some anachronistic snick would always find the image a bit funny. I'm already struggling to read. Everyone's going to leave. They're all going to hate it. Perhaps it was tossed. Did not wait for me to continue to ask. Yang Ying, God, why am I so dumb? Dragged a heavy nasal voice, began to describe the situation they encountered.
我昨晚睡觉时在黑暗中看到一个女人。
It's voice acted? I went to bed last night and saw a woman in the dark. A nightmare?
不算是，我在梦中动弹不得，而她背对着我一直在哭，还断断续续地说着什么，我听不清。
Not really. I couldn't move in my dream, and she turned her back on me, crying all the time and saying something off and on that I couldn't hear.
除了这个，让我比较在意的还有一点。
Apart from that, there was one thing that concerned me more. He paused. His face was not very good.
我惊醒过一回，所以昨晚睡了2觉。
I woke up once in a panic, so I slept twice last night.
2次都做了相同的梦，不过它们之间有一个区别。
Both times I had the same dream, but there was one difference between them.
第2次做梦时，那女人和我之间的距离缩小了。
The second time I had the dream, the distance between the woman and me narrowed. Spooky. Is this a scary game? I forgot. Oh god, am I about to get jump scared? I'm about to wake up my whole neighborhood is what I meant to say, but my whole neighbor is just even better. So typical of the horror movie genre, can you estimate how many more times she could come to you?
3、4次，而且我今天从早上起来就异常疲惫，在你来之前已经不小心睡着，又惊醒了好几回。
3 or 4 times, and I've been unusually tired since this morning, and I've accidentally fallen asleep and woken up several times before you came. Why don't you just go back to sleep and listen to what the woman is saying?
不要，
Don't. That was a quick refusal. There's another way, but I haven't used it. I'll go to your dream with you. Zhang Ying's brow furrowed.
你能保证我们不受伤害吗？
Can you guarantee that we'll not be harmed? I have not done such a thing, but the only thing I can say for sure is that it is afraid of me, which means that it is not as powerful as me now. Those are some strong words. In other words, it can't hurt me even if it wants to do it. Moreover, generally for the abnormality of the obsession that does not dissipate, the obsession is resolved in time. There's no need to hurt people. Try? Zheng Ying is still hesitant. You have been marked. If you do not help it to achieve the wish, only is not know what will happen. We don't know what will happen. I sent him a series of numbers. I know you don't trust people, but if you wake up and find that you cannot wake me up, I hope you can call him. He will fix it. Don't worry, you'll be fine. And I'll be fine. Everything will be fine. We'll be fine together. Probably.
Oh.
Good. Can I... Wait. The process after the agreement was simple. Zheng Ying let himself fall asleep, and I woke him up every 15 minutes. This was repeated until the 3rd time, when he opened his eyes and subconsciously tensed his muscles, only to relax his guard after seeing his surroundings. Next time? He nodded, exhaled slowly and tensed up. Exhaled slowly, geez. As time went on, each time Zhang Ying woke up, he would be more sleepy than the last. A little. Before the words were finished, he had already fallen back to sleep. Look at the mouth. Look at his mouth. Should be bidding me to be careful. First thing you need to do is to take care of yourself. I set the alarm for 5.5 hours later, each 10 minutes apart. The 5 alarms are neat and tidy, at first glance very much like the alarm clock method to prevent oversleeping after a late night. When you move your head, Zheng Ying has fallen asleep. You move a stool to sit next to him and adjust your posture, extending a hand to hold his fingers. The other hand placed on the doll's body. Like dipping your fingertips into cool water, this time it no longer resisted. Not even close your eyes. The next second, the more dense darkness gathered fiercely. This is a separate space, extremely dark and quiet, like being plunged into a deep pool, while losing both visual and auditory senses. I walked forward with the purpose of entering dreams, and in a moment I saw Zheng Ying standing in front of me. He was staring ahead, his expression even more dazed than when I asked the question at the beginning. I followed his line of sight, but as far as the eye could see, there was still a void. Walking up to him, I reached out and pushed him backwards. Weaknesses can wake up a person from the dream, no matter what's in the dream. Let him out first. As if the water mist on the mirror was wiped away, the scene in front of me suddenly became clear. A woman, dressed in black, had her back to me, and a low whimper came from her. I reached out my hand. I'm so scared. The same feeling as before when I touched the cat puppet, only colder. As I keep probing forward, the deep cold air rumbled up quickly and consciously. From the fingertips to the shoulder, the only constellation is that the nerves tend to be numb before you can feel pain. Here, the passage of time is as meaningless as the other senses. 1 second, 2 seconds, I count inwardly and wait patiently. Please help me. For my mind froze along with it. My index finger, which should have been unconscious, was gripped by something furry. The darkness in front of my eyes felt like a piece of old siding peeling off, and flood of information poured into my mind. Pain, struggle, despair swarmed over me with emotion. In an instant, I lost consciousness. I opened my eyes and saw the chandelier in the store. Zheng Ying held my hand tightly, the other hand cupped in his own phone. He stared at me and half a time lowered his head and wiped his eyes. So real. I pulled my hand back after holding his palm smoothly. Oh, so true. That actually is real. That's right. It feels like the chill from just now is just still attached to all my limbs. I can't help but shiver.
1个小时，我正准备打电话。
An hour. I was about to call. Shorter than expected time. He pursed his lips and didn't answer. Instead, I fought back a headache and began to recall the last minute's piece from which I had just captured useful information. The garbage bags in the back alley, the silent stalking in the dark, the cats of different colors and sizes, the afterglow of the winter engine, and the glow of the rooftop sun. The final scene is framed by a familiar row of yellow gym equipment. It is the city park. When I walked out of the cold, airy optical store, the heat that hit me immediately dispelled the remaining coldness. There were a few young boys running and jumping next to the park's fitness equipment. Most of the kids scattered at once. Can you be gentle? I think she meant like be less scary, yeah? There is another little boy standing still, staring at us curiously. Children, have you seen a kitten in the park? Faced with my pleasant inquiry, he nodded vigorously. There are many wild cats in the park, and we often look for them to play. The cats, is there a black one? The little boy continued to nod. How did you play with the cats? We would bring them food from home, but the wild cats were all dirty and I never touched them. What else? And 2 days ago, a black cat that was usually very good-tempered suddenly huffed at us. How annoying. To punish it, we caught it, put a plastic bag over it, and tied a bottle. What the fuck? Who knows the stinky cat didn't even reflect on it, suddenly went berserk and ran away and scratched my friend. Your friend also came out to play today? No, he was taken to his parents to get an injection and did not go out for a few days. Too bad luck. If it wasn't for that pesky cat, none of this would have happened. Although I couldn't see the expression of his face, I could only hear surprise and indignation in the little boy's narrative. There was no sense of guilt about the incident. Zhang Ying listened with a tight frown. Asked for a clarification, I waved goodbye to the boy.
往流浪猫身上套袋子，真能做出来。
To the stray cat body bag. Really, can you do it? Some adults have no way to understand the weight of life. For children whose views of good and evil are not yet clear, good and bad are a thought. The actual fact is that you can find a lot of people who aren't able to understand the weight of life. Zhang Ying returned to sentence what? But only saw his lips moving, but did not receive the sound. I'm trying to translate it better, but I'm also bad at reading, so I'm just like, I'm sorry. I'm very interested in the story. I've been thinking about it. About a vertigo hit me for no reason. I was unsteady on my feet and leaned forward. The stone brick road beneath my feet quickly enlarged. Fortunately, before falling, Xing Yang pulled me
低血
up.
糖，
Low blood sugar? He asked in a low voice. No. There was a clear tingling and burning sensation on the back of my hand, and I looked at the cat puppet standing still at the bar. He was running out of time and urging us to hurry. He's still worried about hurting us because of transformation. So now it's time to... Why would I want to find the boy's friend? Wait, let's save. Save. Yes. Go deeper into the park. We gotta find the cat. Nearing mealtime, the park was empty as midday. Deeper into the woods came a few sparse birdsong. We might have to change
不去
places.
找那孩子吗？你不是说马上就要没时间了？
Not to find the boy? Didn't you say that there was going to be no time soon? Do you remember what kind of black cat you saw?
普通黑猫，看起来很警惕，毛一绺一绺贴在背上。
Regular black cats that looked wary, with locks of hair plastered to their backs. That's the key. Those kids wouldn't specifically pick a rainy day to catch a cat. Tied to the bag when it was still sunny, but when it died, it was soaking
不是
wet.
因为昨天下雨，
Not because it rained yesterday? This type of an anomaly is not affected by the state of reality. What you see is the state in which it was in before it died. It could have gotten wet or it could have fallen into the
可
water.
是那个男孩并不无辜。
But the boy is not innocent. Yes, but he's not the direct cause of the black cat's obsession. We can criticize him and teach him, but not now. There are more important things right now. I looked at the cat muppet. Its inorganic button eyes looked in the direction the little boy had left. The cotton on its chest wet with the rain and dirty and stained off.
那我们应该怎么帮他？
So, then how should we help it? Usually, obsession formation is accompanied by strong feelings, especially love and hate. For this cat, the huge obsession that would allow it to be seen by ordinary people, animal obsessions, I have seen most of the same kind. Deep in the park, there's a piece of abandoned something for a long time. The fences are rusty artificial lake. Because of the rain a few days ago, the water is a little deeper than before. After looking around the lake for a few hours, we finally found the truth of this difference behind a clump of bushes. After plucking the bushes, a pile of garbage and leaves, 2 small black cat cubs consistently issued as crying, thin purring. Constantly purring, even though they were thin, I think is what I meant. There they were. I reached out my hand. I don't know if it's because I'm not afraid of people, but one of the kittens put its paws on my finger. It did not extend its claws, soft pads of flesh on my knuckles, passing over an indescribable softness. Aww. A million waves of emotions that I didn't have time to distinguish surged through my heart, and tenderness surrounded me. I carefully patted my jacket and picked up the kitten. I saw the cat puppet again in the distance on the lawn, looking at us from the side. All alive, I will take good care of them. To the 2 kittens, but also to it, I said to myself. Halfway through the day, I heard a long, hoarse cat cry. When I looked towards the clearing again, it had disappeared, leaving only 2 round yellow buttons on the grass. The thin fog was nearly dissipating by the sun. The sky cleared. Anyway, that's it. Didn't you say you wanted a cat before? She sat across from me with a shoebox between us. The cat cub inside was tired and asleep after some hospital feeding and deworming. I'll take the kitten, but compared to this, you said you were afraid of life and death, vowed not to hit the shift. Mamas, can you chill out? There is something wrong with your words. We are greedy and fearful of death. It is not easy to vow to die. I attempted to muddle through. Don't do it. What changed your mind? Because to save the young man who just came with you? Although he looked quite fierce, but his looks, our body are good. He's a hottie. Yes, he is. A new acquaintance? Just my new boss. I don't know. We met yesterday at noon when you were not working. Wait, you said he looked good. You can see his face? The face of Yang's pursuit is... I almost fell away. What are you doing, mamas? She almost fell off. Oh, are you done? Are you done? Come here. Come in. After a few days, she sent a video, as if recorded casually with a cell phone. Click on the message. Aww. Two kittens sleeping on all fours with reassuring purring sounds between their breaths. Hey there, kitty. At the same time, the messaging alert lit up and I received a new message. Save. We're gonna watch the video again. Shh. Don't tell no one. Watch the video again. Hey there. Okay, and watching. Fondly downloading the video to my collection, I slid open the dialog box at the top of the screen. Is that Mama's? Is that Mama's? Event 1. Cat Puppet. I had an appointment with Feng Chen Chao to meet today. It was a good weekend, Pawn. I went to his studio at the appointed time, and I knew the way, but the store around me was not the same as the last time I came. Feng Chezhi? No one answered. The studio was empty, but the music was playing, and the air smelled of wood chips mixed with paint. The table was full of bottles and jars, pushed aside in a messy pile, some even overturned or upside down. A few books were scattered on the floor. Flower pots and plaster heads were also tilted to the side. In front of the coffee table fell a dark figure. Feng Chen's lay motionless on the ground. Hey, Feng, stop playing. I kicked him gently, but he didn't move. Should I leave? Sitting, still no response. He's still not responding. This guy can't really... Yeah, crouched and looked closely, obviously. I took a look around. The overturned flower pot is intact, no broken branches and leaves, and no fallen soil around it. Instead of being knocked over, it's more like being carefully held by someone to put it down. The same goes for the bottles and jars on the table. The lids of the overturned and upside-down paint are screwed on tightly. Then, I look at Fallen Fang, not to mention the place where he was lying. Very abruptly shiny and bright piece of human form. What? He also thoughtfully used his sleeve to pat his face. Always faking. This guy is not even willing to lie to me to overcome his cleanliness. Grating my teeth. Fang, you like to play, don't you? I raised my hand to slap him. Wait, the smell is... A strange, imperceptible mood swing came from Fang, and the abnormal smell lingered on the tip of my nose, faintly appealing. As if deliberately concealing the smell of his own body. The hand that was raised in midair paused awkwardly, then landed extremely stiffly and gently on Fang's back. He is not right. I don't know if he is possessed by an abnormality, or if the one in front of him is simply an abnormality in disguise. The only thing I can be sure of is that it is not afraid of me. I don't know if the ability is not above me, but it seems content that it can take care of me. I pretended to be calm and continued to pat him, forcing a smile. Sleeping, huh? Looks like I didn't come all at the right time. Next appointment. Good. It should not be discovered that I have detected it. This thing, now just hurry up and leave. I nimbly got up to leave. The person in front of me suddenly rolled over and grabbed my wrist. The excitement and determination that my opponent was desperately trying to control burst out at once. Cannot let it win. What? I'm fine. How can... My hands got so sweaty. Slowly, slowly. The wrist became cold, starting from a place spread to the circumference of the body, bubbling with frosted cold. I was in the heat of the day, but felt of the ice. When I look at it, it's smiling. In the next second, there was endless darkness. Is that a game over? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hungry to eat? Oh, we are going to take her to. Where's the nest? Noodle shop of bowls, tell the boss. Ooh, remember, let's salt. Please, help me. All alive, I will take good care of her. Is it Benedict? This is it. This is about the abnormal memory. I stood in the darkness and watched my exchange with abnormality unfold in front of me like a running light. The abnormal coldness was gone, replaced by the warmth that covered my body. It was as if a consistent source of power surged to mend my body. This familiar and reassuring smell. There is no mistaking it. I haven't seen it for 4 years, and it's still clear. Fang!
Surprise!
Oh, he's cute. What's wrong with you?
你什么时候发现的？还想让你以为我被一场打死了？
When did you find out? I still want you to think I was killed by an
还
abnormality.
是说这个打斗现场有问题？
Or is there something wrong with this fight scene?
我布置了那么久，
Damn, I set it up for so long. How in the world can this man say such things openly after doing such things? I beg you, who can screw on all the paint caps after a fight? Don't you think it's too bright for you to be lying on the ground? I can't imagine with my eyes closed. He was there with a mop back and forth to mop the floor, never let himself get a grain of dust. The ground is dragged to the planting light.
哎呀，地上脏嘛。
Alas, the floor is dirty. Fang picked up the plaster statue that fell on the ground.
你看，大
Look,
卫老师鼻子
Mr.
都折
Davis'
断了。
nose is broken. Then don't engage in all this
想
nonsense.
看看你碰到危险能不能保护自己。现在看来，做得不错，
I
感
want
觉
to
很敏
see-
锐。
I wanted to see you run into danger, and if you can protect yourself. Now it seems to do a good job. The senses are very
反
sharp.
应也很迅速
You。are a very sharp woman. Very sharp with your fighting skills. Okay. Sorry, I was realizing I was sitting like this. I leave my camera on where I can see it so I can just, be a normal person. Don't grumble. Don't shrimp. We're not shrimping. We're sitting up straight. He came close to me. His eyes were bright and enveloped in such a gaze, it was easy to give the illusion of being
被
captured.
吓到了。
Did that scare you? I wasn't captured. I wanted to punch him in the face with my fist. No,
嘴还挺硬。
the mouth is quite hard. I'm leaving. Fang Shenzi he hastily pulled me. I like there's a thing that's like white people can choke on our names, and that's real, and I will always try my best. His hands are cool, his palms are wide and thick and strong. The first thing you need to do is to apologize to me. Fang He's look became trance-like.
对，对不起。
Whoa, right. Sorry. What is wrong with you?
错。
Wrong. Fang he. I don't know why I'm struggling with that. Chen's high. Maybe that's why I'm stupid. Like who my hand had held his forehead. Just break free so quickly.
你倒是学得快。
You are a quick learner. He looked a little tired, and for a moment he turned back into the smiling Fang Chen's high. I'm stronger than I thought, I secretly marveled.
前2天你自己解决了一些事件。
2 days ago, you solved an incident by yourself. That's more his voice, yeah. Speaking of that, you snooped into my memories? Fang held out his hand, and there was a faint red mark on the back of his hand.
如果我问你，
If
你
I
会
ask
告诉
you,
我吗？
will you tell me? This location is where my hand tingled when the cat puppet reminded me that day. How could your hand be?
我们被关联了。画画的时候 手突然开始刺痛，平白出现异常的伤害。
We were associated. My hand suddenly started tingling when I was drawing, and an abnormal injury appeared for nothing.
我猜测跟你有关系，看了你和异常之间发生的经历，才确定了这个。
I guess that it had something to do with you, and after reading the experience that happened between you and the abnormality, I was able to determine this. Then after I woke up today, my body was a little sore, especially my left arm. Did... You were cleaning up the abnormality yesterday? Well, you felt it. Yesterday, I met a difficult guy, not strong, but troublesome. Fang told me that the accident back then, I was mistakenly intruding into his so-and-so ritual. The power of the shifter that should have been inherited in his body took some of it away. I guess if I moved my mic closer, I would stop doing that, sorry. If you ever see me shrimping, just yell at me. I thought it was just a sharing of power, but would it even be a sharing of damage?
我研究了一下，目前应该只跟你干什么？
Oh, I can turn the voices off. Let's do that. Not that I don't like them, but I feel like it messes me up a little. I researched it and it should only be with... What are you doing at the moment? Fang pressed my hand with one hand, self-poking both eyes. Currently, it should only be related to the injuries caused by abnormalities. You look sorry? Fang was exasperated by my laugh. In your 4 years of college, have you ever felt explicitly uncomfortable physically? Those are some big words. I shook my head. For like a normal conversation, that's crazy. Can't recall that once. I don't remember. It's not particularly serious, is it? Because of the distance. Fang goes into thinking. Let's do a test. He pulled out a small knife from his body. The smell of abnormal just came from it. This is token? Token abnormal obsessed will drop some objects if they have been or most likely... I tried so hard to read that. I was too busy to turn it into the company. I don't know if I was busy or not, but the token was definitely not handed in on purpose. Otherwise, what else can I use to trick me into falling for it? He cut the palm of his left hand, bright red blood out, staying on the knife, prickly sounds. That's cute. The cut is very deep, so you can see that the blood was spent. How does it feel? I don't know if it's a psychological problem, but it feels like it tickles a little. I held out my hand, palm up, with an almost invisible red mark on it. Seems not because of the distance, but the extent. The damage to me and Fang will be magnified. The damage caused to Fang and my body will be weakened. Fang briefly treated the wound. Sorry. To my sudden apology, Fang was a little puzzled. I thought it was just an unusual small case. The apology is true. I did not expect to involve him. Fang sighed. In talking about this, I do not blame you. I was just afraid that you are inexperienced. Even the lowest level of abnormality, there will still be deception and concealment in order to achieve a certain purpose. And the mind is not enough. If the mind is not enough, even they themselves cannot figure out what the real obsession is. Anyway, the next time you encounter such a situation, find a way to avoid it first, and then contact me. Just do what you did with that old lady and report the point to me, and you're doing just fine. Otherwise, in case you are abnormal, the whole half dead. I am sitting at home, but trouble comes from heaven. I was greatly alarmed. What? Fang froze. His face froze, then hung on his face with a smile glooming up. He was gloomy, and then he smiled a little, I think. What? You said those little thoughts out loud. I laughed dryly. You received that old lady? Topic changed. I tried to change the topic. I got it. When it comes to unusual news, he is also very serious. However, there is no child, as you said. As for the old lady, she doesn't know anything and doesn't even remember holding the child. We handed her over to the police. How come? It was clearly there. Yes, there was indeed traces of abnormalities at the scene, but it was the rainy season recently, so it's hard to say if it was a guy who deliberately messed up. Those abnormalities that stayed but didn't know what their real obsession was. Affected by the rainy weather, emotions and abilities are beginning to fluctuate. Anyway, the company will continue to investigate this matter, and I will pass on any progress to you. You don't have to tell me specifically. You mentioned that the Yang family because of this incident. No, it has nothing to do with this matter. There is a relationship with the cat puppet. There is such a family in the circle. Since the early days, because of different ideas, and the company did not get along, they parted ways. It seems to have not appeared for a long time. It is said that the younger generation is also mostly ordinary people. If I really want to say, I remember when we were young, there was a peer about the same age as you, and we lived very close to each other. But he seemed to not get along, did not play together, later moved away in a hurry never to see again. Did not play together, that would be Yang Ying. You met him? I didn't know how to speak for a while, how to explain it. We're gonna save. This is kind of a mess, like, the translation's a little off and then I'm bad at reading, but I'm really liking it. Alright, let's see. I'm not sure it's him either. Shenzi! Someone interrupted me. The visitor was stocky, with heavy glasses, a simple t-shirt, and his striking left hand. Whoa! Did not expect that. Ho, yo! Shenzi, a visitor, huh? And this little old girl is... I know, Rose, right? I've always heard my orange talk about you, and now I've seen a living person. My brother doesn't talk much, but when he drinks and mentions you, he starts to ramble, and he's such a pussy. Said 180 times the brothers are curious to die. Hey, today let me hit the... Don't say this. Nice to meet you. Brother especially enthusiastic to extend his hand. I'm a bit at a loss, hesitant half a day. Half slightly mentioned he was pulled over. The actual fact is that you can find a lot of people who are not able to get a good deal on this. Fang easily pulled my hand out and saw the big brother pull out the phone. I should be the first to see our sister, Rare. Come, sister, with your brother. Da Chuan, take a picture. Yeah. I effectively then a sister's hand. She is not... I know. Sister, you do not worry. Xuan brother to give a code. Mysterious point. Gluttonous death they have. Ha 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 ha. Weird. I took a hold of the wings of the big Xuan. He fluttered 2 times, dropping 2 feathers. Too light? Looking back, Fang's 2 fingers against his brow. Coincidentally, well, this is not. Fang looked a little embarrassed, unprecedented silence for a moment. My friend Da Chuan, network writers, people are quite good, just a little, enthusiastic. Quite famous. His pen name is Da Chuan. Fang Chenzi looks a little difficult to say. Baby. Da Chuan baby? It will not be the Pigeon King writer that Yan Yang has been splitting on, right? Dragging more on the apology either, cousin married or cousin remarried. No one will become a pigeon. Feelings are the original form as revealed. Originally about yesterday. The results... Yesterday he was a pigeon. I was also a pigeon. I also happened to be out on a task. To their own is the cause of things, right? He pigeoned, you also pigeon. I know that's not what it means, but it's a funny sentence. You sooner or later also become a pigeon. He was alienated, a small matter. I'll deal with it. You go back first. I was a bit surprised. Fang always wanted me to work with him as a watchman, even though I repeatedly said I did not want to. The past 4 years, he figured it out? Oh, good. Then I'll go back first. You take care. Well, be careful on the way. Fang raised his hand, seeming to want to touch my head, but like remembering something, paused and finally fell on my shoulder. He smiled a little and did not speak as gentle as ever. It's time to wash your head. Shut up. Something is different. After leaving the studio, I walked aimlessly down the street. In the past, Fang had been filling me in on what a watchman was, and sometimes even tried to force me to go on missions with him. Now that he had figured it out, it's not forcing me to be a watchman anymore. Why do I feel weird? There's nothing wrong with him, right? Should I go back and check it out? We're gonna save. We're gonna go back. Of course we're gonna go back. Okay. The chaotic clock hitting the people also got distracted. The big face of Fangs lingers in my mind. I always feel relieved, but before the quarrel on the head, and he said, "What? This life will never get involved." Ouch. Now go back. It's so embarrassing. However, all he knows is that I handled the cat puppet. Ah, right. Go back to help him ask for a signature. That'll be good. I turn around and walk back to the studio. You also know that we engage in serialization. A day bursts more tens of thousands of words is no longer normal. But recently is a word that I cannot hold out. I don't know, but you know we don't care about that, right? How about you try looking at less female anchors? You know what? Fetching material? Not now. Fetch what? List one big brother's throne? We generally call this broken money. Girl? Fang looks over, sees me. There's something surprised, slightly invisible frown. How come you came back? Forgot to bring something? No, just came to see. He looked like he's about to shatter his mouth. Brother Okwa, you continue. Okwa really took over the conversation. Sister, you also do this. You did not say, or my sister reliable. Ah, these two people are a piece, certainly better than the orange alone. It is very good. Do not give him the opportunity to speak. I looked away sheepishly, avoiding his eyes. Then I can go on to say that, in addition to not being able to write anything, my tastes have also changed a lot. The other day I ordered my favorite rice at my favorite restaurant, but I didn't expect to smell it when it was served. I did not expect to see the taste when it was served. I began to be nauseated, and then even more so, where the spicy, greasy meat and fish, I tasted bile to vomit and diarrhea. Dachuan opened his thermos. A rich aroma of corn juice came. Happy Water also do not drink, for corn juice and green bean soup, hey. Dachuan sighed. Feng Chenhizi ordered to see the needle. We have a general understanding of your situation. In fact, it's not a big deal, really. My life is still healthier than before. Not only do I get to sleep extra early at night, my work and rest is more regular, and I also like to eat all kinds of vegetables. I would like to go out for a walk, stretch or sing or something. The amazing thing is that my change seems to come from the heart, naturally. There are no resistance to these things that I would not do in the past. Okiawa stretched his body, fluttered his wings twice, and dropped 2 more feathers. Only the left half of the arm is a wing. The other parts, especially the head, are still human-shaped. The degree of alienation is not deep. The appearance is not deeply affected, but the habits are still changed. I quietly communicated with Feng. One after another, he was involved in abnormal events and changed his mind to hit the shift. I was silent, not knowing how to answer. I was more worried about Feng, but my attitude toward the shift was suddenly blurred. It seemed not as repulsive as before. What would happen if it was completely alienated? I only knew that abnormal would be alienated and that I would go berserk after alienation, and it was also the first time I knew that living people could also be alienated. Fang seemed to read my silence and did not pursue the question. It will become abnormal. Then why would this happen? Fang hesitated to tell me. Is this the kind of thing still considered performance and you have to hide it? Although it's all's good, but my job's still to create so many years and a group of old readers. I live a beautiful life myself, but the delay in writing an update, but also too sorry for the support. When the brush rocket supports car domination, how do you not see you have this kind of ideological awareness? Akiawa thought about it and looked a little frustrated. I did not do something wrong, but this time it's really too serious. Half a month, I sat in front of the computer when my brain is blank. Typing or writing, even voice input, as long as it's an activity related to updating, I can't finish it. It's like a switch. Whenever I think about writing, it just clicks and shuts me down. Even sometimes, I will somehow lose my memory. The deadline, the activity. Open your eyes is lying in the live. Once he is bereft, a few more feathers floated down with him. Feng Chen Zi Hai and I looked at each other. That can't be his name. Chen Zi Hai? That can't be right. Did anything special happen before the earliest of these situations? Oh, no. I'll pet my cat now. I'm going to have cat hair on my face. Before you ordered that covered rice that you liked the most. Half a month ago? I took a week off to go back home after my new book finished. I took a week off to go home and discuss the plot of the new book with my editor, which is usually the process when I finish each book. What I ate, where I went, who I met, I feel that the memory is vague for that period. By the way, the day the editor came, he brought me a batch of readers' gifts and letters. I found it. I could feel it. Then I had a dream. Still there. God dang it. He was caught up in the memories again. Something from a reader? Gotta read it to be sure. Then let's take a look. Fang looked at me strangely. Don't look at me like that. Since Brother Dachuan is your friend, he is also my friend. Isn't it a normal thing for friends to help each other? I was a little unnatural and added stiffly. Just at this time, Okawa turned his head hotly and turned at me at an uncomfortable angle just by looking at me. I remembered I had been dreaming in which I was soaring in the sky and my body was incredibly light. What's with this music? The clear sky and soft clouds. So comfortable. If I could really fly, how wonderful would it be? His voice began to become fluttering. His face showed an exuberant look, and he came rushing towards the window. The forward posture is also fast and strange. He stretches his body, keeps exchanging with his legs, and his neck flexes from the side to side. He only has one wing. He's not going to make it. Stop him. I didn't have time to think about it, so I turned around and grabbed the spray can for watering the greenery by the window and aimed it at Okinawa's face. Contact with the cold water spray, he froze, jumped backwards, and was stuck between me and the coffee table. Seizing the opportunity to run into, Fang raised his hand and slapped his forehead. Only I and Sukani could see, in the top of Dachuan's head, a small light gray shadow gradually emerged, indeed a pigeon. What the fuck? Fang suddenly spoke. What if bared water does not work? Then use the spray can to smash him unconscious. He laughed lightly. The company's main business is to provide a wide range of products and services to his company. The pigeon that had flown out of his head began to rampage through the house. Okiawa, on the other hand, sat on his butt on the sofa, and the discord that had been vaguely haunting him since he entered the door dissipated. He sat dumbfounded for a while, opened the thermos on the coffee table, and took 2 sips. Bah, what a paste throat. Dachuan's left hand is also still wings, but after just a toss, feathers fell a lot, faintly showing the outline of the normal arm underneath. Yes! He's a normal guy now, yay! I looked up and swept. The pigeon was tired of flying and landed on a high beam. What is the situation now? What affects you is found, but not completely. What does that mean? Still, have to find out what made you like this, or you can go back and continue to reaching that thing. Everything is useless. Dachuan froze. Fang also froze. The condition that makes a living person alienated is the abnormal token, right? Fang was silent, and Okiawa scratched his head, not knowing what we were talking about. You just said that the reader sent you something. Is there anything unusual in those things? Just some letters and homemade peripherals? Oh yeah, I also received a cursed letter. What? Come on, dude. What did the letter say, you dingus? Over the years, I've seen a lot of insults and abuse, and I can remember that letter solely because the curse was written in a very crude and funny way. The first half of the text is the same as the early years of the internet. Not forwarding 10 groups will have a bloodbath. Only the back is handwritten. The person who sent the letter said he didn't want me to write any more works, as if he was a reader who had read one of my books and was hurt. Can I see it? Okay, my house is not far. I'll go get it. He finished and left in a huff. Okiawa did quickly return with a backup of letters. As soon as I opened it, I smelled something vaguely unusual. The next step is to find the token and get rid of it? What? Yeah. What's going on? Are you okay? No, you go sit on the couch and I'll take care of it. Clearly distracted. Forget it. You go sit down. I'll do it. It doesn't look too hard. Fang wanted to refuse. I was pushed and pulled and placed on the sofa. I used to be a hard worker, but after only a few years as a watchman, I'm too clumsy to do it myself. Oh, man. You sit down. I can still burn a thing. And besides, you are here to sit down. What can happen? You're here sitting down. What can happen with you here? Fang looked at me and finally answered. I squatted in front of the backpack. The envelope style is varied. There is a thin postcard, but also pure white envelope. I looked down in the pile of letters. A gray feather fell out. A feather. I picked up a letter and set it aside, followed by the next one and another. Without exception, each letter had a feather in the envelope or on the back. The paper and soft feathers scraped out of a rustling sound as I gathered the letters in one place and stopped rummaging. These letters. The first thing you need to do is get a good idea of what you're looking for. What attracted to my beauty? The next second, the rustling sound just now not only comes from the letter in your hand, but also the pigeons coming in from the drawing room. They were either flying low on their wings or tilting their heads to find the right spot on the easel, and everywhere they could see, they were there. I looked at Dechuan, who was asleep on the couch, feathers on his arms falling off. Each one turned into a new pigeon before it hit the ground. These letters are all going to be burned now. Oh shit. The words have just fallen. The room full of pigeons turns their heads in unison, a motion straight to look at me. This scene is really impactful. The red eyes seem to really have a line of sight shot out and fell on me. The situation is normal. I turned my head to speak to Tatsuki and swallowed the second half of the sentence in the moment I saw him. Or not. Are you okay? Noticing that my face was not right, Tatsuki asked again. I'm fine, but you... The feathers marked on his neck were faintly born. I fixed my mind, and when I spoke again, I could detect the trembling between the words. I asked, do you remember your name? The answer to my question was, Goo. I fished out the lighter from Okiawa's body and resigned myself at the task of destroying the letters alone. Lighting a piece of letter paper and throwing it into the trash, a light gray smoke rised up without a pungent smell. What are you doing, Goo Goo? Anyway, I could see his face. And I didn't look up, but I could tell by the sound of his voice that he was so confused. I'm burning paper. Do you want to join? Tatsuki complied to get the letter paper, but the moment of touching the electric shock retracted his hand. The tip of his index finger was cut with a long, thin slit. At the same time, my right hand went slightly numb. Still quite sensitive. You better not touch these letters. I continued to burn the rest of the letters. The pigeons gathered in one place, turning into long, thin shadows, stacked together like an odd human shape. That's kind of spooky. They swooped in and tried to squash the throbbing flames, only to be swatted away by me as they approached the trash can. I remembered that the blood of the watchman could dispel evil spirits. I glanced at my hand, then without hesitation raised Fang's hand and squeezed the wound. The beads of blood oozing from the fingertips fell on them, like sparks that melt ice, emitting a nuisance sound. Don't move. I moved closer to Tatsuki, brushed his ear, and caught a feather with precision. The last piece of letter paper was burned out, and the golden red flames jumped. The doves in the drawing room were like moss, melting into the shadow cast by the flames. I looked at Tatsuki, and like Okiawa just now, he stared at me in awe as if he had just woken up from a dream. I didn't have time to take credit for it, but a rusty taste comparable to that of fresh run over 800 came to my mouth. I haven't been complimented yet. Is that a problem? Even though 1,000 reluctance, I still passed out. What? Dang. Okay. These boys looking hella cute. When he opened his eyes again, there was Tatsuki's large face in front of him. His uneasy expression had yet had time to retract. It was the first time I saw silent novelty for a while before I realized that I was lying on his lap. Where is Dachuan? I let him go back. He was quite grateful, said he was inviting you to dinner afterwards. I vaguely remember a man grabbing my hand and wiping his tears. Whoops, older sister, I can't help you. It's my fault. Next time, brother. Please eat pot bag and kill pork dishes. Slip meat section. Then the scene performed a section of the name of the dish. She is faint, not dead. What do you know, my sister, for my exhaustion? Although I cannot see his face, but I can imagine the picture of the fierce man crying purely eyes. I laughed. Hitting the shift doesn't seem too bad. Fang also followed the corner of the mouth bent, smile bright and dangerous. Is the blood of the watchman good? Just squeeze my wound, squeeze quite hard, huh? Anyways, you are bleeding. Do not waste it. How did it go? It's about the watchman. Why don't you use your own? How did it go? I found the token, 2 dark gray feathers hidden deep. They work together and seem to have multiplying effect. I have to take them to the company to check the records. The tracing of the sender was handed over by the company. Fortunately, it was found in time, and the culprit should be caught in this time. Your coma is mainly due to the depletion of God's power, too large an area of abnormal energy at one time. It's not a big deal, so you can get up from my lap now. My legs are numb. Oh, fine. You can lie down if you want to. I'm not that petty. You'd be better run fast. Trying to unlock the confinement failed. I gave up struggling and had to rest. The first thing you need to do is to get a good idea of what you want to do. Well, there's little money, a lot of work, and danger. You're right. There's really nothing to be done. The city can't do without shift workers. In other words, no freedom. Like the landlord, you can't go anywhere outside the jurisdiction. So bad, why don't you continue to work? Fang was asked by me. Half a day did not speak. Or do you want to go around? Fang shook his head. Maybe it's because I'm used to it. There's nothing wrong with staying in a place you know. The flowers of the seasons bloom and fall. Pedestrians come and go. The city is changing every moment. But you are different. You can choose to stop meddling with abnormal related things and live a normal life. At the sound of his voice full of laughter, I closed my eyes. He was lying. He was hiding something from me. "4 years ago, he wanted you to be the watchman. You didn't want to be, and you had a big fight. 4 years later, you wanted to try watchman. He said no, and you had a big fight again." Yan Yang's expression is also wonderful. From one extreme to the other, Fang is really an extreme. Not exactly a big fight. It's not that. The night watchman benefits are so good that he's afraid that you'll steal his performance, right? It doesn't tell me when they're talking, and I'm sorry. When you pull it like that, it's like something he's capable of. Man's heart, needle under the sea. But more than that, I would like to know exactly what kind of writing will receive a death threat warning from the reader. Here it goes. I pushed a hardcover pro-signed copy of the book in front of her. It was indeed well written, the kind of book you would want to send razor blades to after reading. Okay. The simple, kind-hearted teenager learns to straw men, the righteous man rebels, and the hot-blooded man grovels. Baby Okiawa, surprisingly, it's him. He has a book where the protagonist died when there was still a step away from success. Very angry, but also unexpectedly reasonable. He's very good at writing. His unusual style is to tear up the good things to show the reader, but the ending is always all the villains or the unexpected. But the ending is either all the villains or all the dead. Some people like it a lot. Some people think he's clamoring for attention, and the polarization is quite obvious. Anyways, I think he writes very interesting. I like him very much. I asked him why he was so obsessed with creating tragic stories. What he said, I also want to know what he really thinks. It's not just about recreating a persona. I just know that I want to put a lot of effort into it. If I want readers to fall in love with your characters, I have to fall in love with these people myself. How to flesh and blood to write the last hints of softness of the villain, the hidden selfishness of the perfect man. These are not simply who falls in love and who dies. I like to create stories where flaws to create plausible tragedies, to depict how a perfection inevitably fades away. Even if the reader who sent me the cursed letter was angry when he read it, he was touched by me, wasn't he? Yes, and for a moment I thought that you were dragging your manuscript because you had to think seriously about all of this. Delaying? Delayed drafts this? Hey, they gave me the live schedule clearly. That last sentence, I did not tell Yan Yang, considered to maintain the image of Dachuan in the hearts of his readers. Yan Yang casually turned a few pages. A folded letterhead slowly folded down. What is this? Hardcover special edition? I picked it up and unfolded it. A4 white paper. A line of lead letters into the eyes. This is your name. That's spooky. My name was clearly written on the white paper and circled a few times for emphasis. The author gave you a personal signature? Well, probably to thank me. I laughed. The heart pumped. This piece of paper was not from Okiawa's hand. When I finished reading it this morning, there was clearly nothing there. On the way to see Yan Yang, someone had put this paper in the book I was carrying close to me without my knowledge. Nice. Event 2. We're leaving. Okay. So that was episode 2 of Blind. I hope you liked it. Sorry, my reading and then also the translation was a little rough. But I really like the art style, so it keeps me invested. I haven't played it in a while because I thought no one cared. But my first video got quite a few views, so I hope that the people who wanted to watch me continue playing this gets to continue watching me play this, I guess. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you very much, and I will see you in the next video, which is tomorrow, by the way. Bye.